Now, you actually brought something.
I do. I don't know what it is. It's wool from Birkeland's. I remember I was knitting this a few weeks ago with you, and I think I put a button here. And
what a lovely wrap.
I don't know if it's lovely, but I made it.
You are very talented. You just do. You need a button right there.
Yeah, yeah.
You could wear it out to a formal dinner or something like that.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of dinners, be honest now. Have you ever gone to a fancy dinner and not known which fork to use or what to do with that spoon at the top?
I just watch everybody.
Well, see, that's the trick, right? But there are a few things that you probably need to know, like what to do with the napkin when you get up to go to the loo. Do you know what to do?
No.
Well, you're going to find out because we took a crash course from the image builders on the proper use of tableware. Ah, yes, we are here with the image builders, Susan Matheson, today to talk about table mechanics. What are table mechanics?
Well, it's the rules you'd use to navigate the table.
Okay, well, let's talk first about the approach. The approach to the table, there's an etiquette to it, a rule.
Yes, well, we don't want to rugby scrum at the table. So what we end up doing is everybody head to the right side of your chair.
Okay, so if we're standing like this chatting, oh, let's sit down,
Yeah.
we wouldn't both go together. I would walk around.
Right, and because we're two women, no one's seating us. We'll seat ourselves.
Okay. What's the first thing we do when we sit down at the table?
Well, when you sit down at the table, kind of do a quick lay of the land scan. You can see what's actually going to be served to you by how the table has been set. This is quite an informal setting here. Looking ahead, there may be soup served to us. So here it's an option. It's there for you. Okay. The first thing you'd want to do, and you'd wait for your host to do this first, but you take your napkin and take it off the table right away. Don't leave it till the end of the meal.
A lot of people do. A lot of people wait till their food shows up and then they take the napkin.
That's right. Okay. Now, a little trick I'll show you is you put it on your lap, but if you leave it folded this way like this, when you have that moment when maybe you had an encounter with the spaghetti, that you can wipe your face here on the corner and then close it in on top of you so nobody actually sees it if they happen to look over or anything. So the napkin is actually a message to your wait staff as well. If you need to leave the table, you can put your napkin on your chair. When we come back, in a fine restaurant, a waiter may have put it over the arm of your chair as a courtesy so you don't sit on your napkin.
Okay.
And then at the end of the meal, once your host has decided the meal is over, that is your indicator when the host takes the napkin and puts it to the left of the plate.
So always follow the host lead is a good rule of thumb.
Yes.
All right. And now I've heard that if you're confused about place settings, you work your way from the outside in.
Yes. Working left in is the easiest rule of thumb always. You'll be safe.
Okay. The bread plate
I wish we
is
were
on
at a
the
round
left, right?
table.
Yes.
Now, there are a couple of really fun little hints. If you go like this with your hands, you make a small B with your left hand. So B would be for bread, and D would be for drink.
Okay. What else do we need to know about table mechanics?
Let's imagine, because I'm looking here at the salt and pepper shaker, often there will be two. There'll be a salt shaker and a pepper shaker. If somebody asks you for that, you always pass the two of them together.
Right.
And that's because the next person might be looking for one or the other, and if they're together, it's easy to locate. Never season a meal until you've tasted it.
Okay.
It can be considered an offense.
Now, let me ask you about the knife facing inward.
There's some wonderful trivia when it comes to etiquette. We have a knife on the table as a sign of trust, and that is that you're trusted with what could be considered a weapon. The knife is turned inwards because then the sharp blade isn't seen as a threat.
It's not pointing at me.
It's not pointing at you. So it's turned in, and that just makes everything more friendly.
Okay. Another issue, Susan, is in a banquet setting or a formal dinner on a round table, and the person next to you inadvertently takes your bread plate or your wine glass because they're a little bit confused. How do you nicely tell them, that's mine?
You don't.
You don't?
No, you go with the flow.
Okay.
And you'll see that everybody will end up having to do that.
So the key is, Susan, if we make a faux pas or someone next to us makes a faux pas, just kind of let it go. Yes. Don't comment on it, try and rearrange the table.
No. The whole goal of dining etiquette is to make everybody feel comfortable. You're there, it's a social occasion, the focus isn't on what you're doing with your hands, so just relax and have a good time.
Enjoy, and yes, get some wine. That always helps. Thanks, Susan.
Thank you.
The Image Builders offers custom seminars on various issues of etiquette, as does UBC's Business Communications Club. You can find the links on our website, cbc.ca/livingvancouver.